Hi, I'm Anthony. Welcome to Maatouks Racing. My name is Anthony Maatouk and I'm Maatouks Racing. Is that good enough? Yeah? Oh, beautiful. Can we go now? My passion for RBs started when I was probably, I don't know, 17 or 18. Well, actually, probably younger, actually, 16. I was at school. I was crossing the road in the crossing and I seen a VL Commodore coming up. It was actually a walking show. And I going, oh wow, that's hot. I want one of them. And that's how it all started. So we started loving the VLs. We went and bought a stock SL, started rubbing it and painting it, engine out, painting the engine bay, looking at all cute. Back then, there wasn't many of them. I'm talking like maybe 25 years ago. We ended up putting a walking-show kit on it, painted it like that. I think it was Rexy blue back then. Pulled the motor out. Back then it was still non-turbo, so we put bigger pistons in it and whatnot, just to try to make it sound a bit better. Driving around in a VL Commodore, thinking we were flying. Back then there was a massive car scene. We used to drive around, and on Saturday nights we used to go to the rocks, and there were cars everywhere, and idiots and racing and whatnot, and going from street to street. And then I thought, this is pretty cool. I think we need some power. I bought a turbo kit, and we turboed the engine. Never knew what I was doing, of course, but yeah, we ended up getting a turbo. Then I think we made like 300 horsepower. That was massive on our NA engine, and it lasted a couple of weeks before that blew up. We decided let's just start building the motor. We ended up pulling the motor out. We put some rods in it. Sorry, we put pistons in it. Back then there was no rods. We just put standard rods in it. We built the motor. Obviously it was all just slapper. There was nothing you can buy off the shelf as we got now. Yeah, we started going to some street runs and watching people race, and every now and then giving it a little squirt, and then we just ended up from nothing to everything. We wanted more, always wanted more, was never enough. So I ended up selling that car and I bought another VL, put an LA kit on this one. It was a bit more nicer than the walk-in show kit. One of my mates had rods as pistons second hand. He wanted $300 for him. His name was Afif. I bought him off him, put him in the engine. And that was one of the first engines I actually built. We put him in, we gave it a bit of a tune-up. Back then, I think Rocky from Pack Performance used to tune for us. I had no idea what we're doing. I think I was like just turned 17 or 18. Yeah, we gave a bit of a tune up. We went and started racing. We went 1080 or 1070 on the first ever meet, which was fast back then. And then obviously from then we just wanted to go faster, and the drug hit us, and we just never stopped. VL God was never meant to be. We always liked street car look. I had built like a street looking VL, had a G-Force in it, T51R, like just small, nothing massive, you know. And I think we debuted the car and it went 850s on the first meeting or the first pass, which was really, that was the fastest back then. There was nothing faster except for the Rigoli Boostin, which was a tubbed drag car, and was nothing to compare to what we actually had, you know. So we pushed it. We went 8.0 at 170 something mile an hour. We wanted to go faster, of course. One of my mates, George Haramis, he wanted to buy a VL. So one day he walks into my shop, gets into my VL God, which was a blue car back there, was only untubbed, just very basic setup. Looks at it, jumps in it, sits in it, and goes, yeah, I want this. I'm thinking, what do you mean you want this? It's not for sale. He goes, yeah, it is, I want to buy this car. I thought this guy's dreaming, he ain't buying nothing anyway. A couple of weeks later, you want to read about it, we done a deal. I sent a car away to get tubbed and to go to the next level that VL God's at. George ended up buying that car, he mini tubbed it, and went out on his first meeting, he went 7s in it. And from there, we just went faster. I built the car to go 6. Actually, I built the car to run 7. There wasn't even a 6 back then in VL God, because no one was running 6s or 7s yet. On that car's debut, we ended up running a 780 on its first ever full pass, and that was the fastest VL period. And ever since then, it's held its own. It still is the fastest and quickest VL. We haven't raced for a couple of years. We don't give it as much attention these days, but I'm going to have to. We're going to have to step it up and try to get into the 5s. The GDR switch happened, I don't know how it happened. One of my mates decided he wanted to buy a GDR. He bought a GDR, I used to make 400 kilowatts. Oh, can we turn it up? And I'm thinking, yeah, of course we can. It's an RB. Well, it's all the same. Of course, one's 4-wheel drive, one's rear-wheel drive, but the platform is exactly the same. He decided he wanted us to build a roll racing car. I go, all right, let's give it a crack. We built back then the infamous Street King. That was the first, actually it wasn't the first, it was the first proper street car we built. Before then we had Muhammad Khan, a black GDR, And we also had Die Hard, which was Julian. He had a GTR we built too. So we had already built a couple of smaller package GTRs, which you wouldn't call small. They used to run 8.0 also. But we were trying to go off from the big turbo part and laggy to like a street roll racing kind of setup. So we had the biggest thing was choosing the right combo. So when we did build Street King, we opted for a smaller turbo, a bit of nitrous, and just the right converter to work out how we're going to make it leave the line, not savage, but also come and boost pretty fast. And we did that like crazy. Like the first setup we done, we pinned it, we nailed it. It went 870 on its first ever pass, and it won every single racing it ever went to. That was probably the first car or the most car that made way for all the GTRs that are out there now, from us to other shops. That was the car that decided to hang on. These GTRs can be fast, can be reliable, and not just a boost like a lag pig, you know. And ever since then, it just went ballistic and crazy on the GTRs. When it comes to GTRs, Australia is the best. It's as simple as that. Don't worry about America, don't worry about anyone, don't worry about Texas. We are the king of the GTRs. All of us get along, like we get along with CRD, we get along with B2R, we get along with Muscle Mechanical. We're all mates, we're all rivalry, we all muck around, we all tell each other you're dead and whatnot. And if it wasn't from all of us pushing the scene to where it is today, it probably would have been nowhere near where we are today, you know? Running like low sixes in a GTR, which can be driven to McDonald's, it's realistically, it's next level stuff, you know what I mean? We all get along. If they need parts, we're supplying parts. If they need something, we need something, they supply us parts. So we're all on the same level. Everyone wants to go fast. And that's what makes it what it is today, and why we keep pushing the boundaries and going faster and faster and faster. Stepping up to the new chassis, obviously it was Nader. Nader loves racing, loves competing, loves wasting money. We love him. He decided he wanted to go into like he owned King 32. He probably paved the way for us in our R&D, because when we bought that car, he wanted to run a 6. We have not run a 6 yet in a GTR. He never ever told me what to do. He goes, this is the car, this is the fast one to go, do whatever you want. And by doing that, he gave us the time, the money, our experience to put in the car and actually do what we had to do. It wasn't one of those guys that told me, oh, but you reckon you should do this? No, just do whatever you want to do. And that's why the car consistently went faster and faster and faster. And King, like back then, we went 7.0 with a cast block, no billet. Obviously the billet block makes it more reliable, makes it more easier for everyone to race. Whereas when we used to go and run mid-6s in the VL God, we used to have a cast block. You had to use your brains to keep an engine together. You know what I mean? As in now, there's no brains required. Like you go buy a bullet block, you buy a Nitro stroke kit, you put it together, you put 80 pounds in it and your car's going fast. People don't care about like being reliable, we do. Yeah, everyone can go fast now, that's great, well done, because you can just buy everything off the shelf. But the experience and R&D that we've done over the years, like we got cars that go to roll racing, that dominate roll racing, like RH7, it's cast. King, it's a cast block. It makes 1,500 horsepower of a cast engine. It can be driven anywhere, it stays cooler than a billet block, and it does what it needs to do, and it's cast, because we've learned that over the years. You don't just have to go buy a billet block, put it together and go fast, and it does 2 passes and blows up, and then you're back at the workshop. So that's where we're at. The no stories hashtag came from everyone making up stories. Oh, look, his car's red. Oh, look, his car's on radials. Oh, look, his car's auto. It's just too many stories. So we made the hashtag as no stories. Bring what you got. Bring whatever you got. Bring your car, bring your missus, bring whatever you got. Let's go racing. Whatever it takes to be number one, let's do it. And that's stuck by us now. It's probably one of the best hashtags ever. I love it, and it's never a story. You beat us, well done. There's no story. You beat us, you're number one. We'll catch you and we'll see you next week. You know what I mean? When this car came up, it didn't actually come for sale. We went to Orlando to watch Orlando, like the racing at Orlando, which was crazy. And this used to have a 2J in it. And he was back there, I think it was running 560. It was fast. And we fell in love with the car. We fell in love with Orlando. The racing was on next level compared to here, you know. So anyway, after we watched racing, we come back and Later goes, I want to buy one of those cars. One of our mates just knows the owner of this car and he goes, I think it's for sale. So when we made a couple of inquiries and he goes, it's not for sale, but if you want to buy it for the right price, it's for sale. And we ended up buying this exact car, and that's why it's iconic. Not only it's an RB and it's our car now, but it's iconic. So this car has a lot of history, a lot of background to it. And to be in this shop, it makes it even better, Like, we work on it because we love working on it, you know. When this car came up and we ended up getting it to Australia, it was a rolling shell. It had nothing. Even like the diff center was broken, the gearbox was broken. When we bought the car, we were meant to buy it as like a firewall back, as in gearbox, tail shaft, whatever. It came obviously with stuff that shouldn't be there. We had no brake lines, the brake lines taken out, it was just fully stripped. Yeah, we were upset, but we didn't care, whatever. We just rebuilt it from scratch, which we're going to do anyway, you know. First step was getting the RB engine and fit in it. We had to make an engine plate for it. We got the engine fitted. As soon as the engine's fitted, everything else was easy. The fabricator, we can just fabricate. We had the fabricator here. They made the exhaust manifold, the intercooler, high-tune inlet manifold. It's like a normal car. So as soon as the engine's fitted, everything else was like having King 32, but in a chassis car. Heaps more room, heaps more place, things to play with, heaps easier to work on compared to a JDR. Everything between this and the VL is interchangeable. From turbos, to engines, to gearboxes, to inlet manifolds, all of it is identical. Our combos are all just about the same. Same, like especially anything at a 5-second level, you know? Like inlet manifolds, all Hypertune. Injectors, all Siemens. The turbos, all Precision. You know what I mean? So everything is pretty similar. Obviously, you can't take the cooler off this car and put it on my car without fabricating and making new cooler pipes and whatnot. But it will also, like, just the main parts are all interchangeable, as in gearboxes, even the diff housing, all the same. So if you're racing and one of them in the finals, one's not, we can strip whatever car we need to do to get it together. Just love big burnouts, and I love the crowd. When the crowd see an RB or see a Maatouk car or see us do half-track burnouts, the crowd love it. They stand up, they lose their shit. The more they lose their shit, the more I do a bigger burnout. It's cool. The atmosphere, everything is crazy. We love what we do. We just keep going faster, keep pushing until we can't go any faster. The engine consists of a bullet bottom end, billet block, Kelly's crank, BME pistons and rods, one of our race heads, and our special camshafts. We bring the engine to life. It runs 18 Siemens Deckers injectors. It runs Hypertune inlet manifold. It runs one of our custom exhaust manifolds, Precision Turbo, big one. Hypertune intercooler. It runs nitrous. This car has not been nitrous down the track yet. It runs nitrous just to get it on boost, because it runs a quick drive, it runs a converter for manual behind it. So we need to use the nitrous to bring it on boost, and the second it's on boost, the nitrous turns off. It hasn't been nitrous yet. It will be nitrous when I get a clean pass. We've always had a misfire. The car has never had a full clean pass to the finish line. It's gone 577 off the photo at like 250 mile an hour or something. I think we finally got it. The intercooler that we had on the car originally was leaking water. So obviously we couldn't see it unless it's under big boost. So whenever it was on big boost in top gear, it used to put water in the inlet manifold and obviously go on ignition, and that's why I used to always pop and fart and not sound too clean. So hopefully we fixed that now. We haven't raced the car yet with the intercooler on it. So we're hoping that it's going to be fixed and we should be able to go 260 mile an hour plus. It runs one of our own made in-house trigger kit. It runs Haltech everything, as you know. We love Haltech. It runs Nexus ECU. It runs every sensor, front shock sensors, rear shock sensors, drive shaft, gearbox, whatever you want. It runs the new UC10 dash in it, carbon tail shaft, 10-inch, I think 9.5-inch pro gears, turbo smart, wastegate, blower valve. It runs everything turbo smart. We use turbo smart in everything we use here. Same as Haltech, we're married to both of these. Because we run a Nexus, it runs each injector individually, and we stage them whenever we want them to come on. So as soon as it gets to 50% duty, the next stage comes on. As soon as that gets to 50% duty, the next stage comes on again. You can't even tell them the car until they come on, or when they come on. So it's pretty cool. This car was the first 5-second RB in Australia, which is pretty cool. First hit, it went 585 at 246 mile off the photo. History, done. What people don't understand is making the engine program is easy. But this car used to run an adjustable clutch in it, and we've never done an adjustable clutch. Everything was a guess. So everything that we thought works doesn't work, and everything you don't think works, you know what I mean? So everything was opposite to what we thought it worked. So to get it together in the first 2 hits was crazy. But having so many customers that race, everyone wants to race every meeting. We decided that it's not a smart idea to have a clutch in it. Yeah, probably will go faster with a clutch, but whatever. So we ended up opting for a quick drive, which runs a converter. The maintenance is almost nothing. You have the run, you come back, you click the cooler on it, and you walk away. You can have a gili, have whatever you need, you know. Have a shishi. It's pretty cool because there's no maintenance to be done. And then that gives you time to help everyone else in the shop. When you go racing with 10 or 12 cars, obviously I'm driving a couple and we're logging and maintaining everything else. It just makes racing so much easier having a quick drive in it than the clutch. So we can actually help and keep everyone else happy. I like to always thank my team. Without my team, we're nothing. Team isn't massive, but we're on a award scale, as you can see. Caleb, my son Peter, Mitch, my wife, Dahlia, just the people that make Maatouks what it is, you know what I mean? There's not, without one person, it just won't work. We need the whole team there to do what we do. If that's ordering parts or helping us put the car together at 3 in the morning or at Jamboree and pulling heads off, the team's always there. Jason, Sam, Nader, everyone has their part of this car. I don't know who I'm going to forget, but someone's going to get upset with me. Ashraf, everyone, Murad, we have a team. We're solid. We do what we do. We love what we do. Now we've added an extra part to what we do. We bought our own CNC machines. You'll see in the back. We're starting to make our own parts because one, I hate waiting because I'm impatient, and two, if I think of something at midnight, the next morning I told my son, hang on man, this is what I want to do, and in 3 hours it's made. It's unreal to actually be able to do that, especially with my own son. Our next stage is making everything and selling what we make, you know what I mean? If we're too busy to build your car, no problems. I'll show you everything you need to build your car. From bumper to bumper, we'll help you, we'll instruct you how to put it together, and we're happy to tune it after it's finished, you know what I mean? Because obviously we can't build everyone's cars, we can't get them in the shop fast enough. I think the best way to help everyone that loves RBs and wants to support us and our products is to give them the best product possible. We know it works, everything's proven and tested 300 times over before it's sold, and that's the best way to go about it. The goal is to be number one, of course. Number one is 555 now, or 554, which is a 2J. Obviously we want to catch them and be faster than them. Can we get there? Yes. How long? I don't know. But we won't stop, Nader won't stop, the shop won't stop, the boys won't stop, no one's stopping. So we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until we get to where we got to get. What else does it do? Can I eat now? F off and